r/AskReddit. What is something you do twice just to make sure, although you perfectly know the first time was sufficient? I look both ways before crossing any street, then look both ways again before finally crossing, then look both ways as I am crossing just to potentially jump away the minute one of those frickers tries to hit me. I swear every time I try crossing a street a million frickers try to run me over. I also flush twice if you know what I mean. Double check the dryer before closing the door and starting it up to make sure the cat didn't jump in. I literally have to reach my hand in and lift even piece of clothing in just to make sure, even though I know she isn't in there. I am a diabetic. I check my insulin supplies before I leave the house once I'm in the car, and sometimes I'll pull over and check again on my way. So paranoid about forgetting it and not having them when I need them. Make sure my stove is off. The burner knobs have to be turned counterclockwise as far as possible, but do not click into place when they are off. I always worry that I might have accidentally brushed them with my elbow. Making sure I am going into the right bathroom in public. The sign says female? Is the pic right? Am I sure it said female? Okay, a girl went in, it must be the right one. Am I sure it said female? Going into the wrong bathroom is just too embarrassing to risk. Use a curling iron every day. Check that I unplugged it. Immediately after unplugging, still can't pull the car out of the drive until I unlock 2 doors, go in and check again. In the 20+ years I've been doing this, it has never still been plugged in. But what if the one time I don't check, the house burns down? Checking the locks on my doors in the house. It's so obnoxious, I'll check them, lay down and be like, did I check them? Then spiral down this terrifying train of thought where I'm murdered in my sleep because I didn't want to check them again. Then I get up and check them. Happens far too often. Closing the garage door. I can't even count how many times I've wasted my lunch break driving back home because I just couldn't shake that nagging feeling that I didn't close it. Spoiler, it's always been closed every time I've come back to check on it. I've circled back from down the block to check if my garage door closed. When I was younger, our garage door was wonky when it would get wet from the rain. It would close and then pop open again, so we would have to make sure it stay closed. The current door is a totally different door and has never acted up, but the sickness remains. Checking to see if I turned the stove off after using it to avoid house fires, and checking to see if I locked the door to avoid house robbery. These I do repeatedly 3 times each. Lol, better safe than sorry. Making sure the landing gear is down at around 100 ft. I know I asked for it to be put down. I know I confirmed it down. I know I said it was down during the checklist. But damn it, I need to check just one last time. I always check at least thrice to make sure one of my cats aren't hiding in the washer or dryer before I start. It started when I accidentally ran my cat in the dryer for 10 seconds and was intensified when someone told me that their mom dried their kitten accidentally and killed it. I'm so paranoid, I sometimes do a head count after I start it. When I floss my teeth I always start lower left, then do lower right, then upper left, then upper right. Then I usually do lower right again because I have a nagging paranoia that I skipped from lower left to upper left and missed it. Not me, but my GF cannot be without her chapstick. She always leaves it in the small front pocket of whatever bag she's using. Whenever we leave the house, go to a restaurant, or anywhere for that matter, she will check for her chapstick definitely way more than twice just to make sure. I almost think it's become second nature to her at this point. I can't remember a time where she hasn't had chapstick on her since we've been together. When I was a young vibrant college student, I would say smoking weed. The second joint, do they still call it those, was needed just to make sure I was high. If you're a college student, fricking love the frick out of that time. It's all downhill from there. Checking if I'm in the men's bathroom as I walk in. Are there urinals in here? I saw myself build the habit after a couple people saw me walk of a women's bathroom. It was late at night and I didn't know I had gone in a women's bathroom since it was just a single toilet. Locking my car. Did I lock my car? Did I lock my car even after hearing the sound and walking away 10 feet or so? Tap for keys in pocket, then pull them out to make sure I see that they are with me. Put keys back in pocket, then tap for keys in pocket. At this point, and only this point in time, can I comfortably close the door. Make sure I put the car in park. This stems from an episode in college where I walked out of a Target and found my car had rolled into the middle of the parking lot aisle. I casually unlocked it, got in, and drove off. Checking my teeth, nose, and eyes in the mirror to make sure there is nothing in them. I do this repeatedly. Like, I'll check and go to walk out the door but then think, did I actually check or was I zoned out? I have a real obsession about having a big conversation with someone and then realizing that there was something gross on me that they would have been aware of the whole time. It would be so embarrassing. Did I turn off everything in my apartment before going out? Yeah, I'm sure I did. Wait, let me go check. Yeah, I did. I'll lock the door again now. Is the door really locked? Let me check that again, too. Sometimes I'm amazed I'm able to go anywhere. I wear one size stronger contacts in my left eye compared to my right. Every day I open a new pair and grab one from the left box for my left eye, and one from the right box for my right eye. Despite doing this every single morning and knowing I'm right, I absolutely have to check the small number on each and see that I'm right. I've worn contacts for 12 years and they're never wrong, but I can't let myself put them in without first checking. I'm sure somebody on here has already said, but locking your car door. Holy smokes, I get paranoia thinking about it. I can pull the handle 10 times and the boot lid and still think it's unlocked when I can't see the car. Triple checking I have my keys in hand before locking the door behind me, also making sure the door is completely unlocked or even left open to take the dog out so I don't get locked out. The paranoia of living alone, not having a spare key, and the landlord's living 30 minutes away at least. I know I'm late to the show, but I got one. Sometimes when I turn a light off as I'm leaving a room I feel like I didn't flip it all the way. Like it's sitting halfway on and off even though the light is actually off. When I get this way I can only make it a few steps before I have to turn around and press off on the switch again just to make sure. Checking both sides when I cross the street, even if it's a one-way street. I've almost gotten hit by cars many times as a pedestrian, and I once witnessed a car running from the cops going the wrong way down a one-way street, so I'm extra careful to always check both sides. So my school has vending machines that accept Apple Pay and phone payments and stuff. I have used it a few times and you have to press a button so it stops charging your card. Well, I stand there for about a solid 30 to 45 seconds just pressing the button. Better say than sorry and have the vending machine emptied on my card. Every night before bed I set my alarms and check over and over again that it is the right time and is set to go off the morning and not night. I'll even ask my boyfriend, does that say am, and he checks and confirms for me too. I'm a nanny and the parents are relying on me to be there. I check pretty much everything twice or more. At night, I check that both my doors, backyard and front yard, are locked, although I already checked it, or perhaps checking if the fridge door is closed properly. Making sure my phone's on vibrate or silent before entering math class. They take your phone away and send it to the office if it causes a disruption and rings, because apparently a 5-second ringtone will make all the students in class not pay attention, then they will fail and then all the rest goes to shat. I'm not sure if this really fits the question, but it's kinda on the same track. I will sometimes put on Google Maps to navigate to work in the morning. I've driven there countless times, but every now and then. Just gotta be certain I am taking the right way. Whenever I work with electricity, I'm a 15-year-old dumb bah // I always double check that I'm disconnected from the outlet before I touch any wires. Even if I'm sure I was disconnected, I will always look again no matter how many times I've looked before. Checking that I took my medication. I've been on sertraline for 10 years. I tend to be okay if I miss a day, but I still get worried. I also check at night that it's zipped up in its case in the drawer because I've had a few sleepwalking incidences. I have professionally confirmed OCD, but confirming I've taken the right amount of meds is important. Not twice but up to 4 to 5 times, I check if I've hit the record button whenever I want to record something. I hate having to record chat all over again, and my PC is a potato, so I feel like it's necessary to check if I'm recording up to 5 times. But I probably just have autism, I dunno. Thanks for watching this auto-generated video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I upload videos like this one daily. I put a lot of time into developing this video generator, but if there have been errors, please tell me in the comments below. Also leave me a link to another thread you would like to see a video about. Have a great day, Alex.